Welcome back to my nightmare. So today we're just going to do one chapter because being the writer that I am, all of my books have 7 chapters. So chapter 5 is today, and then we'll do chapter 6 and 7 next time. So you're going to get a little more character development, and then we'll get to some good stuff. Okay? Is that good for you? Hopefully, because that's what I'm doing. Anyway, today we are going to read Seems a Bit Queer, chapter 5. If you haven't already, go back and listen to the other chapters or you won't know what's happening in the story. But essentially, this is a sweet romance set in a small town during the pandemic about 2 roommates who were falling in love, kind of coming out of the pandemic lockdown. So it's also been really nice because I haven't read this since I wrote it. So it's been really good to remember what I put in this book because I forgot. I had no idea what was in this book. If you have any questions, please leave the comments below. If you don't like talking, I'm sad for you. I have my warm beverage. Please go get your snack. And then the vibes that we're going for today are that I am sitting at a table in a kitchen, just talking to you, telling you a story. So you may hear some lawnmowers or dogs barking. I am not in a recording booth. Obviously, I'm house sitting for someone. So my spiel is if you hear noises you don't like, I'm only mildly apologetic. Probably not really sorry. We're just chatting. We're having a good time. And I'm telling you the story. So did you get your snack? Okay. Seems a Bit Queer by Avery Morstan, chapter 5. Cam bit her lip and tucked some of her hair behind her ear as it escaped her ponytail. The summer sun was beating down on her again, and as sweaty as she felt, it wasn't uncomfortable today. Today she was walking too close to a sexy girl who had spent the entire night in her arms and who had cooked her breakfast. An adorable, if burnt, breakfast. So adorable that it was probably going to drive Cam up a wall if it went on too much longer. Cam tried again. So you said that Marilyn was your queer awakening. How long have you known? I mean, I feel like I've known you forever, and I had no idea that you were bi? Oh yeah, I think I've always known, Scarlett replied. They were at a farmer's market, perusing the jams and jellies offered by locals. She stopped at one booth to pick up a jar of honey that cost more than what Cam made in a day, turning it over in her hands. Cam was patently not thinking about licking it off her naked body. I'm lucky, I guess. I never had to question it. It's just it's how I've always been. Ah, Cam managed. You just seem so straight, Scarlett laughed as she put the sexy honey down. You're kidding, right? My curtains are literally the bi flag. Cam thought back to the pattern on Scarlett's curtains and her eyes widened. Oh my God. Scarlett laughed again. You think someone who dresses like a cosplayer of Miss Frizzle could possibly be straight? Sweetie, are you serious? Okay, point taken. The next booth was individual charcuterie cups and mini wine bottles, which sounded like a fantastic idea because dairy and alcohol on a hot morning in August would be the perfect treat. Cam paid for both of them, and Scarlett spotted a shady bench under a tree on the other side of the park. As they headed there, a voice called from one of the food trucks. Traitors! Cam turned to smile at Max, a friend of hers who was hanging out of their food truck waving. She waved back, but kept moving. You know them? Scarlett asked. Oh, yeah. They used to come to Devil's all the time. The truck was supposed to be run by them and their best friend, but Cordy needed time off when, the world exploded, Cam said with a sigh. She sat down on the bench next to Scarlett and picked up a skewer of grapes from her cup. I think Max was a little in love with Cordy, but it would never have worked out. I'm not even sure how they're running the truck alone. Why wouldn't it have worked out? Scarlett asked, smearing some half-melted brie on a piece of toast. Cam shrugged. They were really, really good friends, and you're not supposed to go into partnerships with your friends, right? Everything is too personal. Cordy and Max bickered a lot, Cam replied. She wondered if that was telling. Don't go into business with friends. Don't go into relationships with roommates. Either way, someone was going to get hurt. Sounds like it was trouble before they added in the truck, Scarlett replied. She lifted her tiny rosé to her lips to take a drink. Is that something that worries you? Like you're going to have to start something with someone and then they leave? Cam shrugged. I don't know. The women I've been with have all started out as strangers. I've never fallen for a friend before. Never? Scarlett's eyes were wide and dewy when Cam turned to look at her. Big mistake. Those eyes could have gotten Cam to do anything in that exact moment. Well, Cam whispered, almost never. They both blushed and then returned to stuffing salami in their mouths, which should have been a choking hazard, with how hilarious that irony was. They were quiet. From their shaded park bench, Cam could see Max whirling around in their truck, attempting to take orders and fill them all at the same time. They looked tired, but happy. You never told me what your gay awakening was, Scarlett said after a few minutes. It took me a while, and I don't know that I had one really. I was obsessed with this stupid boy band, the Plum Drum Cult. I really had a thing for their lead singer, Cam told her. Scarlett giggled. Oh, I cannot even imagine you liking Reggie from PDC, Scarlett giggled. Cam chuckled and nodded. I was obsessed. I had their posters on my walls, and I thought, gosh, I couldn't possibly be gay. I love this band, Cam said. She swallowed hard. But the thing with boy bands in the 90s is they were kind of, well, feminine in retrospect. Scarlett started to giggle again. Is that why you moved here? Because you know Reggie is from Quaint City? Cam snorted. No, not at all. OMG, you totally moved here to stalk a boy band, Scarlett teased, and Cam could not stop laughing. I did not. Definitely did, creep, Scarlett said, and her giggle softened. Did you ever have a bowl cut? Look, the things that happened in the 90s stay in the 90s. Unless, you ask my mom real nice at Christmas. She just loves to whip out those photo albums, Cam said, biting her pickle rather enthusiastically. Scarlett grinned and reached over to steal one of Cam's grapes. I'll have to remember that, Scarlett said quietly. And Cam was definitely not going to get excited about the idea of spending Christmas with Scarlett. Okay, maybe she would a little. It was a truth universally acknowledged that Monday mornings were significantly improved by the absence of men named Kyle. Sunday had ended with blissful calm. There had been separate showers, which felt nice after being in the sun so long, and cooking dinner with their freshly purchased farmer's market veg. There had been an impromptu photo shoot on the fire escape with some of the garments that Kyle didn't destroy, and then Scarlett had messed around with editing them for her social media account, so Cam picked up a novel she'd been reading during the more peaceful apartment times and sprawled out on their couch. It felt decadent, knowing that no one was going to stomp through or shout. They parted ways at bedtime in the most awkward way Cam had ever said goodnight to anyone. It had looked, for a moment, like Scarlett was going to lean in, but neither of them had done that, and both of them looked like they regretted it. Cam slept until almost time for her fourth alarm to go off, and she rolled out of bed, glanced in a mirror just long enough to pull a brush through her hair. She sat down at her tiny desk, flipped open her laptop, and began signing into the apps that she used for work. Around mid-morning, while she was muted during the most boring company training meeting yet, her door creaked open and Scarlett appeared. She was holding Cam's favorite mug. It was a white ceramic mug with a red lid that looked like a mushroom. Scarlett had bought it for her after it went viral online. Thank you, Cam breathed with a smile as Scarlett handed the cup to her. A label confirming that this cup was Cam's favorite tea fluttered from a string on the side. Scarlett smiled back. You didn't come out for coffee earlier. I thought you could use a boost, Scarlett whispered with a wink before leaving the room and closing the door. The video chat lit up with intrigue of Cameron's mystery tea maker. Meshed. 10:34 a.m. Oh my gosh, is that your roommate? John. 10:35 a.m. Are you dating? John. 10:36 a.m. I thought you were single. Majd. 10:38 a.m. She's adorable. Where did she get that top? Truthfully, Cam hadn't noticed Scarlett's clothes today. She'd been too busy being intoxicated with the warm smile and happy light that had been in Scarlett's eyes. Scarlett hadn't looked that comfortable in her own skin for a long time. Cam, 10:40 a.m. Just a friend. David, 10:41 a.m. Keep this chat professional, guys. Pay attention to the speaker. John, 10:42 a.m. Yes, boss. Majd, 10:42 a.m. I wish my husband would bring me tea. John, 10:43 a.m. Wait, does it count as U-hauling if they already live together? Cam giggled and closed the chat so she could continue listening to the lecture. She couldn't help but feel flattered that Scarlett had come looking for her. She'd never brought Cam tea before. So at Cameron's lunch break, she went into the kitchen and threw together a couple of sandwiches. There were still some essentials that they needed to replenish after the Kyle situation, but their trip to the market had given them, a bare minimum of things to work with. Still, she took the sandwich on a cute plate into Scarlett's room. Scarlett was sitting with her laptop on her bed on a wooden tray she'd gotten at the vintage shop pre-pandemic. One of those old breakfast tray situations. She had on flannel moon-faced pajama bottoms, but her top was an adorable printed blouse that gave her a professional appearance from the waist up. Cam grinned. Peak Scarlett. That whole I'm going to do the bare minimum to please you because professional clothing is boring and uncomfortable thing. Scarlett muted her screen and gave Cam a slow, delighted smile. Thanks. I was getting pretty hangry. No worries. You need anything else? Cam asked, unable to stop her mouth from spreading into a grin. Water? Sorry, No, of course, no problem. I'll be right back, Cam said, waving off her protests. Of course she should have thought to bring a drink. She snuck back in and placed a glass of ice water next to Scarlett, winking at her as the meeting droned on through the speakers. Just as she started to leave, Scarlett muted again and said, So, I was thinking, if you wanted, we could watch another movie tonight. You know, I can't do any sewing with my machine still in the shop. Cam's eyebrows rose. You sure? Yeah, of course, Scarlett nodded enthusiastically. We could spread out dinner on the coffee table and watch it on TV, since he's not here anymore to interrupt us. Cam's smile widened. That would be awesome. Scarlett scrunched up her nose. Awesome. It's a date. Well, that was chapter 5. In the next episode, we're going to do chapters 6 and 7, and then we'll be done. Seems a bit queer. I hope you've been enjoying these. I've been enjoying reading them to you. And let's see. Do I have any notes? Oh, the charcuterie cups were inspired by a real trip to a flea market in 2022. I saw these really adorable charcuterie cups on Instagram at the Harrisburg Flea Market. And I live an hour away from Harrisburg. Like my house is situated in the middle of nowhere and it's an hour away from everything. So I drove to the flea market to get these charcuterie cups, and it was June and I was sweltering and I was recovering from wisdom tooth surgery. And there's a video you can go watch on my channel. You can see my jaw is just swollen and I'm trying to eat grapes. It's a mess. But they were really good. I am big into supporting flea markets and farmers markets, and as you can tell, because I made that a big focus of this story. And Scarlett's business is inspired by upcyclers everywhere, because I think upcycled clothing is really cool. I just don't have it in me to do the business anymore, because I used to try and sell stuff, but not anymore. I'm tired. I have writing and theater to do. I can't keep doing Etsy stores as well. But anyway, come back next week for the stunning conclusion of Seems a Bit Queer. And until next time, make sure you go outside, get a walk, take your meds, get some water, have a snack, take a nap, and take care of you. You're the only you I've got. I'll see you next time. Bye.